YouTube channel. You are here today with me, Lewis, and today I'm going to be breaking down the top 30 crypto index and just kind of give the overall format of basically how crypto's playing out and what to expect in the coming weeks or months. So before we get started, just want to kind of remind any of you guys, if you are new here, do go ahead and subscribe, hit that post bell notification to keep updated with any time that we do post. You will be seeing regular content from now, especially in the crypto market, of any crypto breakdowns that you guys kind of want. Go ahead and drop any comments down below if there is any specific pairs that you would like me to go over, any specific asset classes, whether it's XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin and things like that, anything that you want me to cover, go ahead and drop that in the comment section. So guys, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and jump out onto the weekly time frame and pull you guys all the way back, because I want to give you guys very interesting perspective that we have here, right? So starting from a weekly perspective, you can see, of course, as we started in, as we opened out 2021, it's kind of when the bull run took place, really. And we had this major move to the upside for this index, and it actually moved up around 500%. Yeah, around 5x. So the top 30 crypto index, around 5x, which is incredible. So you can see that we put in our high here at around 31.7, and yeah, so once we put in our high, you can see that we started to decline essentially, and this actually ended up giving a change of character to the downside, because essentially what happened is the most recent demand level that put in the swing high, which is this level right here, was in fact taken out. And so if a demand level that puts in a swing high gets taken out, that's a change of character to the downside, which then leaves behind supply. And in this case, you can see that the supply was in fact unmitigated. So we can see that price came in here, this was left unmitigated, and actually we haven't broken that high since the change of character. You can see we put in our lows in around June of 11,781, relatively equal lows as well. And now for those of you guys who know me and know us at Alchemy, and you know how we trade, you know that a lot of the retail kind of concepts we use as liquidity, right? So these things like trend lines and double bottoms and equal highs and those things that people actually think indicate certain things usually actually indicate the opposite, and so we use that as liquidity. And so in this case, what we can see is we have this double bottoms here, which is a cause for an effect of price to actually enter into this area. The same is then true for the equal highs that were created, right? So that's liquidity to the upside, buy side liquidity. So once we put in our change of character, you can see we put our low in here, left equal lows, and then essentially we came back up to mitigate out of this supply, and in the process given another change of character to the upside, which is essentially when demand overpowers supply, and that means demand is now in control of the market. And so of course, if demand is in control of the market, price increases. If supply is in control of the market, price decreases. Change of character to the upside, and the demand level, the level of demand that caused that change of character, is in fact here. So as you can see, we came up, we mitigated our supply level, we put in a low, failing to break this high here. So we actually put in a low, and then this low right here actually failed to take out these lows, which would have been the structural inclination of where we were going. As we can see, we put in a low, which is a break of structure here, change of character here, broke this low, and so when we broke those lows and we come back up, we could have been looking for something like this to take out these lows. That didn't happen. So failing to take out the lows, if a high fails to take out a low, that high then becomes weak and then will likely be taken out. And so that's pretty much what would have happened. This would have been confirmed from the demand inside of here, which I'll go and show you guys on a lower time frame. The demand inside of here that actually caused the change of character was actually respected and then puts in a new high, but fails to break the previous all-time high, which in a sense makes this low right here weak, because this low right here has actually failed to break the swing low, it's weak, right? So in a case like that, as we say, we can expect that this low gets taken out, which it does indeed. So that's kind of the weekly output. We also have the fact that this low right here, this swing low, actually failed to take out this swing high right here. It actually created equal highs. And so when a low fails to take out a high, that can usually mean that the low is weak. However, with the equal highs resting there, it's also a sign that price could go and take out these highs. Because there is liquidity there will be a lot of people looking to sell off at this price. But then in the meantime, there is also the liquidity to the downside. And so we're in a very interesting area right now in crypto. Like, people don't know whether we're bullish or we're bearish. Just to kind of summarize it, we are essentially stuck in a range. So we need to see one of these levels broken. So if this low gets taken out, we will continue down until wherever we go to. But if this high gets taken out, then we will retrace and we'll probably have a continuation. So that's pretty much the breakdown on the weekly time frame. As you can kind of see, as we put this high in here, which is equal, so it didn't actually take out the high, but it did create the buy side liquidity that is caused to an effect for price to enter up there. We've actually tapped now into our weekly demand that caused the change of character. This was taken out as liquidity. So as this demand level here holds, this was an interesting area that I was personally looking at for a reaction in crypto for a bullish momentum. It's all over my Twitter, and that's exactly what happened. Essentially, price tapped into our level. If I pull that out into the weekly, like so, drop down to the daily, you'll see more clearly what I'm talking about. So if I just pull out to the daily real quick and just let's map out structure, right? So what we can see is, okay, swing structure, we have low to high, higher low, fail to put in a new high, so we put in equal highs, and so far not had the change of character that we need to the upside. So this is our low, right? And so until this low is taken, this low here is taken, that will become a break of structure. We are just kind of floating between the highs and lows. Ultimately would have been expecting this high to be taken out. Ultimately failing to do so results in this low right here being weak. And so in this case, there is literally arguments for both sides. Like, even the charts show you that it's not clear and precise kind of what price is going to do over the next few weeks in terms of, is it going to go and take out this high or this low? But I can tell you some of the shorter term plays that will play out. So yeah, we failed to put in this here. And then if you go into internal structure, you'll see, okay, low to high, low, high, low, high, pullback, high, change of character, lower low, equal lows, higher high, break of structure, change of character, higher low, higher high. And then essentially we start pulling back, complex pullback, and then we have our break of structure to the downside, and we tap into our weekly demand. Now, interesting thing happens when we tap into our weekly demand, right? Because the supply level, the last point of supply that put us into the weekly demand is here and was actually respected. Supply was actually respected, and then that supply level actually caused the low to be taken. However, it was taken without a candle body close. So this is a break of that does break structure, but the fact that it's just with a wick and then a quick reversal could imply to us that it was just a sweep of liquidity on this low. But until we get exact confirmation of shifting back to bullish, we just kind of have to assume that price is still bearish. And so as of this moment right now, for me personally, the top 30 global 30 crypto index is actually bearish until we break the demand, the supply level that puts in the most recent low, right? And so in this case, we have our most recent low here, and then we want to go to, okay, where's the swing high that puts that low in? And so we have this is the swing high, it puts in a low, changes character. Here we have our supply, we mitigate our supply here, and that was what puts in the low. And so we have it, as this is the supply level that puts in that low, right here. And you can see that as we are going through this video, this supply level has been mitigated, and so therefore we should expect that in the short term this low right here gets taken out, right? So as it plays out right now, of course we are in a weekly demand zone, which is something very important, especially with the fractal nature of the market. The higher the time frame, the higher the influence. And so being in this area right here, there is a lot of buying pressure from this area, from your banks, your financial institutions. Hence why we're seeing the bullish momentum up. The liquidity sweep, because it's just with a wick. If it would have closed with a candle body, then I would have been expecting lower price action. But currently, as we are inside of this weekly demand zone, I personally will be expecting to see a change of character, right? Which is essentially demand taking over the supply level that put in the low. So once this level right here gets broken, we are confirmed to be going back essentially bullish. And then we could actually see these highs up here be taken out, and that could lead to a major bull run in the crypto market. On the contrary, though, at the current moment, until that happens, my bias is still bearish. We have another supply level right here. Let me just make sure that's accurate. Okay, yep. So we have another supply level right here that hasn't been mitigated yet. So overall, expecting essentially price, like in theory, as of now, price should come up, take this high, and then take this low. And again, as I've said, because we are in this demand level, it's difficult for me to be taking shorts in the crypto market in general, or shorting in the crypto market in general, as this is a very nice place to be looking for longs, because you have the higher time frame behind you and supporting you. So waiting for this to be mitigated. If we can take out this level here, if we have a crossover 19,549, then I can expect heavy bullish momentum for the crypto market. As we come in here now on the 3 hour, you can see that the demand that actually put in this sweep of low, which actually again wasn't with a body close, it was with a wick, which to me always indicates just a sweep of liquidity, essentially just inducing sellers as that low gets broken, inducing sell orders to then pull back to take out those sell stop losses. So we can see that here's the supply area that put in this low, and as that gets broken, which is as we know by now a change of character, its demand has flipped supply, change of character to the upside. We can see that we have overall demand in this area here that caused the change of character, still yet to be mitigated, demand level. And then once again we tap into the supply level, and then price gives another change of character, right? Because what it's done is it's taken out the demand level that puts in the high. So as that gets broken, then supply regains control of the market. So we have a change of character to the downside. And then right here we have, this is our daily demand level. If I just go ahead and remove that and refine that to a 4 hour level, which is exactly here, you'll see that actually the origin of the 4 hour that caused that move, supply, the origin of supply that caused this change of character has indeed now been mitigated, hence the pullback right here. And so for that reason, because let's just map out structure real quick. Okay, failed to break this high. Okay, once we see this low go, once we see this level of demand here that puts us into our change of character area, that is considered a flip to the downside. Once we see that demand level get flipped by supply, then I will in fact be expecting these lows to go, sell side liquidity back into this demand level here, either into this level here or into these buy to sell wicks. And And at that case, we'll have to monitor exactly what plays out in and around that area. But overall, that is the take of the top 30 crypto index. Very interesting price action right now for cryptocurrency and for the crypto market in general because of where we are. And again, you just have those periods in any market where the overall sentiment of the market is kind of undecided. And that's just one of those areas for crypto right now. Like, I could absolutely expect a pullback and take over these highs, and equally expect lower lows to come and enter a complete bear market. Yeah, guys, that's where we're at. Stay tuned for more content, and for anyone who has any suggestions of what they would like to see, any specific cryptos they would like me to break down, do go ahead and drop those in the comment section down below. And thank you very much. I will see you guys soon. Peace.